back to another video. This video is going to be a lesson vlog. Oh my god, I just got my hair dyed, so that's why there's dye all around my head. But yeah, the much anticipated lesson video. I have not had a lesson in far too long. But as some of you will know if you watch my videos, I've been really wanting to step up to novice for a little while now. At the minute we compete at prelim and he's been placing very consistently. He's been first or second in the last 8 shows we've went to. So I really just wanted to step it up a little bit, but I thought I'll have a lesson, fine tune some things, tweak some things, see what I needed to work on, and then see when I can move up. So I'm actually filming this like 2 weeks after the lesson. Life has just been insane. I've been so busy. And then there's been weeks I haven't been able to vlog because I've been trying to get some content for some brands and things. So it's been a bit hectic. I'll admit it's been a bit crazy. So that's why this vlog is quite late. I'm also wearing a little sneak peek. The Copa Equestrian summer collection, which at the time of this video I was not allowed to talk about because it hadn't been announced yet. But now that I'm filming this so late because I'm so behind, I can in fact show you. So I've got, that's Moreno's slabbers. I've got the blush crop on at the minute and the steel riding leggings, if you can see. And I'm absolutely obsessed. I actually haven't got a chance to ride in the other products yet, so I will keep you all updated. There'll be a video on that. That'll hopefully be next week's video. But yes, I'm rambling on now. I'm going to do a little voiceover of this lesson and keep you up to date, see where it went. It was a mixed bag. As far as I can remember, it was a mixed bag. But yes, I will stop my rambling and let's get on into the video.
So, as I had said in the intro, the main reason I wanted this lesson was to work on some harder movements, asking a little bit more and working up to novice, hopefully. But Moreno, so as you can see, there's some ponies in the field beside us. And I was finding it very difficult to get Moreno to focus on me and not the ponies. And there was also some new fencing put up. You can just see the white there beside the wee lamppost thing. And that was flapping about and he wasn't really the biggest fan of that. So our warm-up was consisting of a lot of transitions and a lot of just trying to get him to listen to me. So in these wee clips here, what we're doing is pushing him forwards to trot, and then really walking him, trying to walk him in deep into the corners, pushing him off my leg a little bit, and then back up into trot, really sharpish, and then back down to walk for the next corner. This wasn't really working every corner because he just didn't have enough, we didn't have enough time to get him into a nice rhythm and then back down again. It just felt like it wasn't really working. So we then started skipping a corner and doing it every other corner. And then we moved on to pushing him into the corners and asking a little bit of a half halt and asking him to sit on his bum a little bit more coming round. And then we worked on that a few times, changing between the walking, the half halting and just steadying him up. This looks very messy, I'll be honest, but I actually found it very beneficial. I don't tend to get comments about riding into corners on my dressage test sheets, but it's never a bad thing to have a wee tune-up in because that's such a minor detail that can lose you so many marks. And actually you can see, normally I wouldn't ask Moreno for much contact this early on in our ride, but you can actually see he's offering it himself in the trot, which, you know, shows that he's working hard anyway and he's using himself, which is always good. My instructor also wanted me to work on keeping my reins nice and short. I'm a bit of a softie and I always let my reins slip, but realistically that just loses impulsion and it just doesn't do any benefit for anyone. Moreno tends to drag himself along then rather than push. So we worked on me just trying to be a bit firmer and keeping my leg on and just asking that little bit more. You can see here, that's what we're working on. And again, by the end of the lesson, I like to think I got a bit better at it, but you can see the reins are just like 2 washing lines at the minute. We're still working on our transitions, trying to mix the transitions in with shortening the reins. Little change of rein here. You can actually see him starting to pay more attention to me rather than the ponies beside him, which is a massive win for us because that's something I really struggle with, keeping his focus on me. I believe this is his better rein. Maybe it was the other. No, I think this was his better rein. I'm not sure why, but there we go. He actually looks lovely there. There's Marmalade scratching her bum off the fence. Later on, this fence then broke, which did not do us any favours. It did give us a little bit more impulsion, though, I will say. Then our instructor started asking, of course there was lots of walk breaks in between this, I should have said. She started asking us to really shorten and then really push just to get him off my leg, because we noticed he wasn't as responsive as he should have been, and I was having to kick all the time, and that was making my position look a bit rubbish, and it just again wasn't doing anyone any favours. So she asked us to shorten on the short side and push on the long side. And then here we're leg yielding inwards on the circle and then leg yielding back out again. This was just to collect him up and really make him sit in his bum and wait for me to ask him to extend. So you can see he actually doesn't look too bad here at all. Plenty of walk transitions. I have a bit of an issue of collapsing into walk rather than going forwards to walk. So he did do a lot of transitions and trying to make me ride through the transition rather than just letting him collapse. Please ignore that massive poo stain. It is currently still there multiple weeks later. I cannot get it out. But you can see, there we go, there's the fence going. My instructor asking that pony to move, and then Moreno saying, oh goodness me, time to go. So after this we do get a bit more impulsion, which is not a bad thing. He wasn't spooky, we just had a bit more oomph, a bit more spring in our step. That walk is atrocious, I have to admit. That was quite a dodgy walk. So even whenever my instructor's just speaking to me like this, I'm still trying to ride forward, ride him into the corners. The transitions, we want just to squeeze and then him to just pop up into it himself, which I was not getting at all. And then whenever he starts to snatch with his head like that, my instructor recommended putting him on a circle, not just like whipping him round, but just to put him on a circle and bend him and kind of tell him, no, you do have to actually use yourself here, sorry chick. Popped up into canter. Again, I normally don't ask very much in my first canter, which I probably should, because there's no reason he can't do it. So my instructor is just asking me there just to ride as normal and then let him move forwards a bit on his own down the long side. I wasn't necessarily asking for an extension at this point, because again, this was his first canter. I don't actually know if I meant for him to trot there. No, I didn't. I meant to go from a canter. Oh goodness me, what's going on here? The first transition was meant to be canter to walk. That was meant to be forwards to canter, and he broke the trot, and then I asked him again and it was just a shambles. That never happens, so I don't actually know what the crack was here, if I'm honest. I think all of a sudden having the rein shorter was kind of confusing him a little bit. I didn't have my leg on enough. So here we go, this is where I'm asking for a wee bit more down the long side. This is where I'm actually pushing my leg on and asking him to go. So I'm shortening him on the short sides and pushing him on the long sides. My instructor is then asking me to do the same thing with the circles, I believe. Leg yielding in and leg yielding out. Yep, she is. Look how nice he looks there. He actually looks really lovely in that. He's brilliant at the leg yielding in and out of circles. He really is class at it. He's also quite good at being very responsive whenever you ask him to lengthen or shorten. But I'm a bit of a wuss whenever I ask for it. I need to be more firm and just say, yep, we are going now. Here's another little circle we've popped in. So that was a nice little collected circle, pushed on to a bigger canter. And then my instructor's trying to get us to crack the canter to walk, which we really have not done at all. I have never practiced this on any horse, never mind Merino. So it certainly wasn't great. You can see even that transition was just really just sluggish. There was nothing, there was no oomph to it. So that is what we were working on in this session. He actually looks quite nice in that. He's a little head bobby, but that's just him. He's always been quite inconsistent in the contact. that transition wasn't too bad actually, that was quite nice. Here he's actually gone too collected on me. I'm pushing him on as much as I can, but I wasn't actually asking him to be to be that collected. He just took matters into his own hands and was like, yep, you asked for collection, here's collection. And there's the ponies fighting again. But look at that, he actually stayed with me, he didn't spook. I was even, oh god, I've got a frog in my throat. I was able to push him on up that long side and bring him back again, which was great. Normally with the ponies fighting, that would not happen. That transition, he could have kept his head a bit more still, but it wasn't all bad. He's actually, again, as the lesson progresses, he's looking quite good. That was absolutely atrocious. That was meant to be a canter transition, but between all the lengthening and shortening and half halting, he was getting his head in a bit of a tizzy. So we're going to try it again here, I believe. Are we? Yes, okay, that was much better. Just before that I was like, okay, Moreno, we're going to canter now, just to let you know. And then I don't know if that made any difference, but he did get it the second time. We normally don't have any issues with our canter transitions, but I think he was just getting his head in a bit of a pickle this day. He was still, you know, having a wee think about the ponies and everything, and didn't know what I was asking. But this canter, I feel like I could move it on a bit more. It doesn't look great. It looks like it needs a bit more oomph. Oh, speaking of a bit more oomph, asking him for a little bit more extension. So as you'll know, in the novice test, this is when you're asked for a bit of extension through all your paces. So this is what we were working on, because I don't do it at all at prelim level. That wasn't a bad transition down to trot. He looks quite nice there actually. My hands are nice and up. Normally I have an issue with dropping my hands, which is really bad. Oh, he's starting to pick his head up and come up onto the contact. We went across the diagonal there, but the video cut out. He's actually looking really good here. He's looking really nice and consistent. I believe I'm pushing him on for a medium trot here. Hard to see from this angle, but I think I can see from his little toes that was a medium trot. Back to collected. So sometimes we have an issue with him throwing his head up in the medium trot, which he actually is not doing here. Here's another little medium. Yep. Oh, what a good boy. He loves doing his medium trot, I have to say. So yeah, this lesson was just really working on those little extras, the mediums and the transitions. And then we ran through the last dressage test we did, which was, I don't know if it was my last video. It was a video I put up recently. And this one goes really badly. And I asked to redo it. Where's the point that it goes really badly? That centre line was quite good. My instructor was just, you know, giving me little pointers. She was kind of instructing me through the test, which I actually find very, very beneficial. You can see he's not off my leg whatsoever here. I think that was actually the issue. I asked him to canter and he didn't. He was so behind the leg, but this was also the start of the hot weather coming in, so he was a bit meh. He was a bit sweaty at this point. Down the centre line again. He was not meant to stop there. Why did he? Oh no, he was meant to stop. Meant to do a walk transition for 1 horse's length, I think it was. Round that corner was a bit rubbish actually. Push him on, another little circle. That doesn't look too bad. Oh god, big pony club kick there. Yeah, that's my issue. We need to be a lot more off the leg, especially if we're thinking of stepping up to novice. We cannot go around to novice with a horse that's so behind the leg. We have been working on this since, and it's come on leaps and bounds. But this really highlighted it. Having a lesson on it really put it into perspective that this was something I needed to crack down on. This is meant to be where my canter transition is. Let me see. Yep, he just didn't do it. He just didn't do it, and he just tried to take me down to the corner of the arena. And that's me asking my instructor, can I do this again? And she was like, come back into the arena and we'll have a little play and then you can do it again. So I think what she wanted me to work on was again yes, you can see off the leg. She had said if he doesn't respond to the first little squeeze, give him a tap, which he didn't at all. He's getting fussy with his head because he's like, I don't want to do any work. But there we go, that's a nice forwards trot. I believe we do a few transitions here. Yep, down to walk. Oh, he wants to jog there. That was the longest walk transition you'll ever see. We wanted to jog for quite a while. back up into trot. That wasn't great. I believe the tail flick may have been a little tap on the bum. Oh, back down to walk again. That actually wasn't too bad. He listened that time. He did come back to me nicely there. He looked like he went to anticipate getting into canter there. That was that was a really messy transition actually. I'm not happy with that at all. That's me shortening my reins again. You know the routine by now, guys. Still loads of leg. Still loads and loads of leg. And we're going to do a walk transition again soon. Are we? Maybe not. Yes, there was a lot of pushing him on and shortening. Oh no, we're doing a canter transition. That was not actually too bad. That wasn't too bad. He could have kept his head stiller, but again, he prefers a longer rein. We haven't really been working much with a shorter rein, so I don't know if I blame him for that. That downwards transition wasn't too bad. Down to walk, that could have been much nicer. That looked like he really pulled me along into it. Are we doing a walk to canter? No. Are we changing the rein? As I said, I really apologise on how long it's taken me to do this voiceover. I'm just really struggling to remember everything. That transition was slightly better. Still wasn't great. But he looked quite nice there. That transition was quite nice. That was nice and off the leg. As soon as I slipped my leg back, he just popped up nicely into it. Back to trot, back to walk. Okay, that was not bad at all. That was quite a nice wee one too. That walk is a bit nicer as well. This must be when he started to think, okay, if I listen, it might be a bit easier on me. Oh, that was meant to be a walk to trot, I think, but we just got very excited for no reason whatsoever. So now we're just going to go back out of the arena, try this test again. He's actually better, a little bit excited. He gets a bit flashy, as you can probably tell by that trot. He gets a bit flashier. So here we go, down the centre line again. Nice centre line, nice and forward. I know my leg's on, but I wasn't really kicking, I was more so squeezing. My fibromyalgia means I don't have very good use in my legs, so sometimes it looks like I'm doing these humongous kicks when I'm actually really not at all. My legs would be quite weak in that way. That circle was quite nice. He was quite consistent in his head carriage there. A little bit overbent there. Come on, pick him up, Ellie. Put your leg on. There we go. That's a bit better. I think that's what my instructor said there as well. Put your leg on and pick him up a little bit. Down the centre line again. That was actually quite a nice one. And we're walking. Walk, walk, walk. And trot. Come on. Oh, you got a smack in the bum there, and then he went off into canter. Yes, I asked him to trot there, and he just didn't, so I gave him a wee tap and was like, right, move. Then he went into canter, so that was incredibly messy, but as you can see now, we have a way better trot that is so much more forward, so much more off the leg. You can see I'm having to kick so much less. This is what we were looking for the whole time, basically, and for some reason it just seemed to click around this stage in the lesson. Let's see how this canter transition is. I actually think this canter transition was a lot better. Let's see, the canter transition is meant to be just before X. Okay, that was worlds apart. That was miles better. You can see as soon as I slipped my leg back, he just popped up nicely into it. Cantering down. Oh, keep your legs inside the board. Down we go. He swung his bum out a little bit here. I could correct that a wee bit if I'm being really nitpicky. Threw the head up. That wasn't great. Across C there. And then we're meant to trot just before X. That was a little bit late because it did say the transition had to be before X. But at least he didn't fall into it. And then we're medium walking here. That wasn't too bad. Free walk on a long rein across the diagonal. He seems to have really cracked this recently. We've been getting a lot of 7.5s and 8s for his free walk. Nice and forwards. Nice and straight as well. What a good boy. Yep, he met the track exactly where I planned for him to as well. Then we're picking up a bit of contact here and trotting before A. There we go. That was actually quite nice and off the leg. And I believe we have a canter transition. Yep, just before X here. Canter. That was quite nice. And he's holding himself beautifully here. This felt lovely. I remember this feeling really, really nice. And then we're cantering down the long side here. everything started to click at this point, if you can't tell. All the lengthening and shortening was really helping me get him into the corners. I do believe if we rode our test like this, he would have got a much higher mark. Look how consistent he is in that contact. What a good boy. Again, trotting before X, that was 100 million miles better. That was like night and day to the first transition. And then we're across the diagonal here, I believe. Oh my goodness, he looks so good. Yeah, so I don't think we're ready to step up to novice just yet because of these little things. I think once he gets off the leg, it will start to click. But you can see the little nitpicky things that we just need to work on. So I don't think we're ready just yet, but I'm very excited for when we do step up, and I can't wait for some more flatwork lessons. I'm saluting my instructor. So next, as you will know, we've been trying to get Moreno through water. So we've been doing a lot of in-hand work, and today we tried to go through on board for the first time. So that was actually our first attempt with Moreno getting some snacks after he brought some bribery over. I was meant to just walk him through it, and then I thought he feels very confident, and I just had a gut feeling. So I went for a trot. I didn't put too much pressure on because I thought if he doesn't trot through it, I've done it too quickly. That's my fault. You can see how all biz I am. Put the bucket right where he could get it. And this, I could cry with happiness. He canters through it. He's never done this in his life, and he's 20. But look how brave my boy is. My face, I was so shocked. I'm just so proud of him. Oh, I love him so much.
So that is all for this week's video. I didn't get the I don't know why I said it like that. I didn't get any content for the warm-up because my dad was very kindly moving some hay bales for me. The farmer dropped them off in the wrong place, and I'm not strong enough to lift them. So that is why there's no warm-up footage. Obviously we did warm up, we did not just go straight into it. But yeah, no, there are a few little things. I don't think I'll be stepping up to novice quite yet because I don't want to go out until he's 100% ready. And I would like to be, selfish as it may sound, I would like to be in for a chance of placing whenever I move up. Like, I don't want to move up and be really rubbish. So there's a few little things I have to work on, and I cannot wait to get some more lessons. But I think the next lesson I would like would be a cross-country lesson, potentially. We'll see, don't know. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that vlog. I am so sorry that I've left so long to put this up. I'm not sure how good that voiceover was, because the memory isn't great, I'll be honest, guys. And also, I'm filming this intro and outro in like a spur 5 seconds of my day. I'm off to a 2-day festival tomorrow, which is Friday, and then the Saturday. And just between work, festivals, everything has just been so insane. So I do apologise for the slacking, whatever. I just spat everywhere. That is so disgusting. I'm so sorry I spat on you. But yeah, I think that is my cue that I have been rambling on for, once again, far too long. So yes, that is all for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!